Got a
Got a blast.
blast. Hell yeah. What's up, mother truckers? We are back. After an 11-day stretch with 10 to 12 hours a day, I am back.
That's wild.
I am sorry we missed you last week, but we will get into everything this week. Boy, I was tired. But let me tell you something, too, while I'm on the subject. Even though I did 11 days straight and worked more than 8 to 9 hours a day, some days were 10 or 11 hours. The last 2 days were 12 and a half. I still managed to go to the gym. So for
Look at
everybody...
you.
So for everybody that's talking themselves out of going to the gym or saying that they don't have enough time to go to the gym, let me tell you, if you really want to go to the gym, you will go. So make yourself go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Coming on strong today.
And I was even able to get my walks in, except for the last 2 days. So there's no excuse.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Brush that shoulder.
Oh my gosh.
But I have been having an amazing couple of weeks. This last month of training has felt more like when we trained together than I have felt in the last year of you being gone.
I feel that 100%. I'm like the same way. I don't know what it is, but like one day I woke up and I was like, you're doing this.
Yeah. Can we get a round of applause for your hair and how awesome it looks?
Oh, thank you. Right? Snaps.
You look nice. So
Thank you. And I love it.
So I do too. When I woke up, I saw it and I was like, okay.
Enough people kept telling me, and then Chelsea, my best friend, she's a hairdresser, she wrote me one day just randomly, and she's just like, you would look so good with Sabine's hair, you should do it. I'm like, all right, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But I had to do my own twist because the way Sabine's is, it's just too much upkeep doing it myself. So I'm like, I'm just going to do the orange in front and the purple in back.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. It's similar just enough, but different to be yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, so. How's your week been?
It's been good.
Good.
I think I just got fired from work. Or
Why?
I did. Just cut costs. But he did tell me, he said, if you want though, because the one gym, because I work in the Ohio gym and I work in a Kentucky gym, but he said in Ohio, we don't have a trainer at all. If you want to do personal training there, same with the Kentucky one. He was like, unless you just want to keep doing online. And I'm like, I haven't really been doing online, but obviously like, I need to make money. So yeah, I'll train at both gyms. So he's like, all right, we'll put something together, yada, yada. And that was kind of a conversation, but it's like, because I left early today. And so he's like, oh, this is kind of an in-person conversation. But when we got there, you were gone. And I was like, okay.
But realistically too, though, like you have to look at the overhead that you have and what you're paying somebody for. But also too, like you're running 2 gyms. So the fact that he's getting a manager for 2 gyms is a bonus in itself. And most people that own gyms, they are the ones that put in work.
Yeah.
You know, so, and it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, so what's going to happen? Because not to bash on him or anything like that, but like, is he going to be able to devote the time? He has kids, right? Like he has a family and a life and stuff. Like, is he going to be able to upkeep the gym the way that a manager has to upkeep the gym? And is it going to start to fall behind? Because you have to weigh that out. Like, yes, you're spending money to have a manager at both gyms, but also too, you're getting somebody that's going to keep the upkeep, that's going to do the orders, that's going to, you know, and a lot of people that are owners like that, they don't take that into consideration. Like the amount of work that they don't have to do, that they're going to have to do. Are they going to really be able to do it? You know?
Well, he'll find out. I think he's keeping the other people on, but they're also very, very, very part-time. And like they're the ones that clean the gym and stuff, and they do have computer access. So I didn't ask too many questions. I just kind of was like, whatever. But like I said, I'll just start doing personal training then, because at West Union, he said he's had like an influx of females, especially that are asking about training. I've had a girl hit me up, and so he's like, if you want to, you're more than welcome to train people at both gyms. And I'll even
Yes.
promote it. So I'm like, whatever. Because I mean, I wasn't planning on staying at that job forever anyway. So it's like a blessing in
No, I know.
disguise to kind of
I
push
know.
my butt into doing my other thing that I'm trying to do
No, I
anyway. So it'll
know.
kind of kickstart it. But I know I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. Like literally right before we hopped on, he called. I'm like, well, oh well.
Yeah.
I'll make
Well,
money. It'll be fine.
yeah, but and that in itself too is the theme though, is that we talk every day. Like, even though we jump on here and I'm like, how's your week been? Me and you talk every single day, and we have phone
Mm-hmm.
conversations and stuff. So it's like, I kind of know what you have planned, and yeah, you should. You look at it as a positive.
Oh yeah.
We are not the cup is half empty people. We are the cup is half full people.
Hell yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, if anything,
Because
it
I
just
wasn't even
proves.
sad when we got the phone because I automatically just went to, all right, well, that's just going to push me in a different direction. I'm going to have to do it now. Like, no more just like dilly dallying and just taking my time.
Definitely, definitely. That's how I feel about my endeavor. You know what I mean? Like, I love what I do. I really, really do. But also in the same aspect, I need to do something that is going to secure a stable and real future for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just turned 40 the other day, and I was talking with Lena about it, and I was even telling like my girl, like, I haven't done anything. Like, I haven't managed to save anything. The money that I have saved has always gone towards anything for like the kids and everything like that. Like, being a single dad and hustling the way that I did when I worked at the casino, it literally made me just put everything into them, invest into them, because they're the future. Let's face it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I invested 100% into them and whatever they needed. But now that they're older, like, I'm like, okay, I need to invest in myself, because, now is the time. And it's just one of
And now
those
it's your
things.
turn.
Yeah, and like, I was talking to my girl about it the other day, and I just told her straight up, I was like, Lord forbid I slipped off of these stairs and I hurt my leg. I don't have nothing to fall back on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I've got PTO saved up and stuff like that, but legitimately, like, I'm gonna be hobbling around at work, barking orders at people. You know what I mean? Like,
Right?
because I couldn't even, like, I couldn't even afford to take some time off, or let alone, like, so it's just one of those scenes where it's like, this new thing that I'm trying to do is just going to secure a future for me and my significant other.
Oh, yeah. Give you a little more freedom
So
too and
yes, yeah.
cushion.
Getting off at 12:30 at night, I do not like it. It's not for me anymore. Dealing with intoxicated people, I do not like it anymore.
Mm-mm.
It has not been something that I've liked for a long time. Um, there's a lot of interactions that I do love, and there's a lot of people that I've met, and a lot of cool things that have happened and been blessed. But I'm just over customer service.
You're right. It's not easy.
Yeah, I'd much rather just put some headphones on, listen to a podcast, and listen to
Get shit
music,
done.
and just get, yeah, literally. We almost made it to the 10-minute mark without cussing. We were 1 minute and 4 seconds away. I tried so hard earlier. That's why I was like, "Woo, freaking," or whatever I said.
At this point, I can
Whatever.
boop it out.
Okay, so you watch. Okay, let's just recap on some of the stuff that we've been doing. One, me and Angelina have been watching Gen V. Have you seen Gen V? It's the spin-off of The Boys.
I haven't seen The Boys. Randall has though, and I think he's gonna watch it. But I've never. I've only seen some of The Boys, and I don't know. I know. He had time off of work for like a month or two, and he just like binged it all, and so I didn't. I never watched it.
All right, where's Randall at? Put him on so we can talk for a
He'll be home in like 45 minutes.
minute. um, okay, so The Boys is good. I didn't get to see season 3 yet, but me and Lena were sitting here, and I watched the trailer for it, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of interesting." we binge watched the last 3 episodes until like 1:30 in the morning. She had to get up and go to school, and I had to get up and go to work. And we literally stayed up. And then we thought the 4th episode was going to come on, and it didn't. And I was like, oh, thank God, because I'm tired. Like I was like fighting my sleep. I was
Do you
like,
have to
man,
watch
but
The
it is
Boys to know? Is it one of those?
yes, kind of, but also like it's 10 years, maybe in the future, if not longer, possibly. I might butcher it, you know. But
Hmm.
it's like it's in the future. So there are some things that recap, because that's even what I was thinking. I was like, well, I didn't see the 3rd season, so I don't really know what happened. And I think I might be like a couple episodes left of the 2nd season. But I just get busy, you know, and I just forget. But I did, and I watched it with her, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, oh man. I've really
Well,
been able to lift legs as well, just to switch topics, because you know, this is how I this is how
no.
I talk. Oh, which is so funny though too. So little Cammy's been coming to the gym with me, right? And
Yeah.
she's just like, it's so funny. The last couple of days, she's like, I could be like, one more, and she's like, what the F, Manny? She's like, you said one more. You kept saying one more. You kept saying one more, one more, one more. And I'm laughing so hard because it was like Mariah's trigger. And I was just like, oh
Yes.
my God. Because like
You
even
really
today when we were
would.
deadlifting,
One more. One more. One more set. One more rep. I'm
yeah.
like, how many
hmm
more?
If I can see that you have a menu, you're gonna do them, because that's what I did today on her top set. She was hell bent on deadlifting her body weight, because she's only been back in the gym for like a month. So we tried, and it went up really really smooth. So then we put 10 more pounds on, and I was like, go for 4, and she was like, okay. But the first 3 super easy. 4th one kind of struggled, and then I was like, one more, and she just kept grunting them out, kept grunting them out, and they were getting easier and easier, like she was finding her rhythm. And I made her do like 9 reps, and she was just like, she's like, one more. You said I was only going to do 4. Ah.
And then
And I was
five
like,
more, one more.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or
I feel the
I
pain.
made her, yeah, I made her do 5 5 5s, and dude,
Ooh.
it killed her so bad. So, all right, so let's talk about the last 2 episodes. What what were your thoughts?
So the second to last episode I loved, but I was very upset that Ezra, we didn't see him like, have his lightsaber, and I was kind of like, what? Like, why? Why are they doing this? So I thought too much into it, thinking maybe they're going some direction with it, but in the end, it's just him being like, no, I gave you your lightsaber, that's yours, just being nice. But
Yeah,
obviously in the last episode we saw that he actually got to use one, and it wasn't anything
yeah,
crazy that I thought it was going to be.
yeah. The second to the last episode, I really liked. I liked seeing just how everybody was going on their own paths, but also too, I've seen some people complain online about like Balin and Shin, like they were built up so much and then they just kind of left them off. But they did exactly like, yeah, they're like, oh, their arcs, this is not, we didn't get to see what really is going down. Like they're complaining about it being left open for whatever's going to happen in the Dave Filoni movie. But I was like, listen, I was like, we're talking about it. This is exactly what they want. They want
Yeah, yeah.
speculation. They want to leave you on a cliffhanger. You know what I mean?
Duh.
Like I liked the way that it ended, and it's the small details, is like, Sabine not staying with Ahsoka and learning from the last time she didn't stay with her what happened in the outcome. So that's why she chose, even though she was hell bent on trying to find uh, Ezra, she made the choice not to go back with Ezra, but to stay with her, to
Yeah.
stay with Ahsoka. And it was just like, that's character development. That is arcs being, shown and fulfilled, and just everything. I don't know. I loved the zombie troopers, the purge troopers. when you got to see their skull.
I was about to say
Uh,
when you actually got to see them and then be resurrected, that was crazy because that's like a
mm-hmm.
whole other thing now. And now they're going to go back to the other galaxy and have these zombies that are just going to keep coming back. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you do?
And then I sent you a snap automatically like after the thing, and I told you, I was like, what if this planet is in the same galaxy as Mortis? Because if you look back on the Clone Wars, they go through like a loop. They're not in the same galaxy. That's why they disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like a an access point, you know? So that's how they get into Mortis. And then you see, I just seen today, because I told you, I'm like, they're either on a planet that's in the galaxy of Mortis or they're on Mortis, and it's just years have passed. And then today I seen something online where it was like they were showing the temple of Mortis, and it's the same shape as the mountain that Balin was looking at. So I'm like, what if they are on Mortis? You
That
know,
would be crazy. There's got
or
to be
it's
some kind of tie to it, you
yeah,
know? And it's funny because people are like, I don't know, up in awe about. I've seen a couple people talk about how the daughter, her head's gone or whatever. But I'm like, but wouldn't that just mean because she basically sacrificed herself or whatever for Ahsoka? So is I feel like that's more of the meaning that she's no longer there, and that's why the owl came at the end. Because people are
mm-hmm,
freaking out about that. But I'm like, I don't know. It makes sense to me that she wouldn't be there,
yeah.
right?
No, the sister's dead.
Yeah,
Her life force went into Ahsoka. She
yeah.
sacrificed herself for Ahsoka. And then you think about it too, like um, if they can see into the future, they knew the roles that these people were going to play. You know, so it's
Oh,
like, yeah,
100%.
so she
So it's, of
would,
course she's going to sacrifice herself if she knows
yeah,
what's going to happen.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
duh.
Um, but also, I was like, okay, cool. I was like, that would be pretty neat if it was, because the space whales, the Purgle, they go there to die,
Yeah.
and traveling through hyperspace was quoted as like, something. So if they're going there to die, they're going to like sacrifice themselves, but also they're the only ones that know how to get there, so it makes sense why they go there to rest, so that
Randall wasn't understanding that with the whales. He was very, like, not impressed with them at first. He's just like, they're just whales. I'm like, no,
yeah.
but they, hyperspace and, like, the galaxies. Same with Thrawn. He's still just like, I don't understand why people are so scared of him. He's not even like, he doesn't even use the force. I'm like, ugh. Like, you don't know. You haven't seen the cartoons.
It is animated series.
The cartoon. Let's be real.
No, I know. Um, what'd you think of the end when he comes back and he's like, "Hi, Hera," and she's just like,
Oh, I cried. Oh my gosh, that episode just made me cry. I was just like, oh my god, like when they just stood there and then she's like, Ezra. And then they,
"Yeah,
yeah, that episode had me all up in my feels.
I know." What did you send me afterwards? Just like a sad face or a teary eye or something. I
I don't
forgot what you
remember.
sent me. I was like, oh, because I like literally to that day, I didn't even get to watch it. Like I was only supposed to go in for like 4 hours. I was there for 9, and like I was
Hmm.
I was at work, and I literally was just like so mad, and like I text Angelina, and I was just like, "What time are you coming home? Because I'm on my way to Rayleigh's to grab something to eat. I haven't been on my phone this whole time so that I don't get no spoilers." I was like, "We need to binge watch it," and she's like, "I've got like 45 minutes," and then she was like, "Actually, scrap that. I'll be home in 10."
Oh my gosh. See, I knew you were at work too because if I send you a snap, usually you always, if even if you can't do something, you always write me back, but you didn't. And so I was like,
Yeah.
ah, oh, he's working. I was like,
Yeah,
that
I
sucks.
was. I was.
That's how I
Uh,
know because I'm like, he's too busy. He can't write me back.
yeah, I was on go. I have been running nonstop, so it's quite successful so far. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. how successful the noodle bar has been the last couple of days. Like, it's definitely we're working out the kinks right now, but we're definitely going to do pretty well. So it's
Yeah.
definitely it's increased revenue in my restaurant for sure.
That's
So
good.
yeah, yeah. So I was like, heck yeah. Um, but who's that, butterscotch?
Yeah. He wanted out. I let him out. Now he wants back in. I'm like,
Yeah,
done, dude.
I know. I've got mine trained to where I can leave my bedroom door open and they'll just sit at the bedroom door because I don't allow them in my room. And
Not
then
mine.
Chula will creep in a little bit and look at me, and I'll be like, "What are you doing?" And then they'll walk back out, and I'm like, "Yeah, exactly." So, but
Mine
man,
are
yeah,
breath.
I loved it. It was good. I know a lot of people are like upset, and they're just like, I
They
started
always
seeing.
will be.
Yeah, it's like you will never make anybody happy. They're just like, if you didn't watch Rebels and you didn't watch Clone Wars, you're not going to be a fan of this. And it's just like, yeah, but in the same aspect, everybody hated Ahsoka when she first came out. I remember taking Angelina and Zoe. Zoe was damn near an infant, but I remember taking Angelina and we went and watched the Clone Wars movie in the movie theaters. And then I remember watching it when it came out in, what was it, like August something 2008. We watched it together and we watched it the whole time. And it was cool to, and I liked it because it was Star Wars and we got to see it on the big screen. And it was like the first movie that I experienced with the kids. And then I took them to every single movie after that. So for me, that was where like our bonding experience started with me and my daughters. So we've always had a love for it. And it's funny too, because it's like anytime I review any old Snapchats on my Snapchat, it's always Clone Wars playing in the background. It's Clone Wars or The Office.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like my girls love the Clone Wars, and they
Such a good
like it.
series.
Yeah. So, and it's just one of those scenes where it's just like, people hated Ahsoka, and now she's a fan favorite. I mean, come on, they brought her
They made a
back.
whole show
Yeah,
about her.
they didn't make just one show. They included her in two different parts of Jedi Tales, the Jedi Tales. They did Forces of Destiny of her, and they re-brought her back after she was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then they brought her back into Rebels. So it's just like they're doing something right in the character arc. One
Because they
thing
know
that
people are gonna hate them. They're gonna hate
yeah,
something. Everyone's gonna just hate.
yeah, people are hating and saying like, Luke was the last Jedi and this and that, and like, how could, like Yoda say these things? These things aren't making sense, blah 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 blah. One, when Yoda said those things, it was 40 years ago. So certain things are being rewritten, but plus also too, if you think about it this way, if Ezra's in another galaxy, Yoda's not in touch with him with the Force, right? If you can feel if you can feel other life presence through the Force, when he spoke with Ezra, Ezra was young, and then Ezra disappears 3 or 4 years later. So he can assume that he's dead. Ahsoka was cut off for years
Mm-hmm.
from from the uh from the um from the order. Kanan was dead, so he couldn't feel him anymore. You know what I mean? So when he reaches out in the Force, the only person that he does feel is Luke and Leia. But he doesn't even really feel Leia because she's not in tune with the Force. Okay? And the way
Not
that they're
until
like,
after she gets more in tune.
yeah. And then she starts to realize things. And then you think about it this way too, like some people are like, oh, Sabine's force sensitive, this and that. A lot of people are force sensitive. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? The
they've made
reason why
that
the Jedi
clear
are,
too.
yeah,
Like,
the metachlorians and that. But also, if you think about it, when the Jedi were at their height, they took your kid from you when it was a baby. So you're taught at a younger age and you're more acceptable. That's why it's easier to learn multiple languages when you're younger. I spoke
mm-hmm.
Spanish for the first 4 years of my life, only Spanish. Do you think I remember anything? No, I don't. But I never kept up on it.
Yeah.
But there's times where sometimes when somebody speaks to me in Spanish, I will understand it. but it's very rarely, but I also don't practice it. So I thought
Mm-hmm.
it was cool. I thought it was cool that, her arc of being sensitive to the force really showed that it was harder for her to get in tune with it because she was older, but not until she used it out of desperation, almost like a life or death thing. Like I said the last time that we talked, I was like, there's going to be a life or death situation where somebody, I think I even said like Ezra was going to die or something, and she was going to be able to use it. And it's just like, yeah, it's because that fight or flight that you have in you, that's when it really comes out. You'll see a mother lift a car off of her
Oh
kid
yeah.
that's not strong, you know what I mean? But it's that internalness. So for her to be able to grab her lightsaber and kill, and then also the love and passion that she has for her friend Ezra, yeah, she was able to force push him away. Now that she tapped into it, she became more comfortable. Like when you see her fighting, she's fighting with the lightsaber, but she also knows that she can deflect with her Beskar. So she's using her armor to
I love
advantage,
that.
and her trusting that and using both parts of it, it's going to make her that much of a more badass and that much of a better warrior.
Yeah. Yeah. So many people are so upset about that. I'm just like,
Yeah.
you guys, like, you have to think about things more and then not sit there and just be like, well, this just didn't make sense. Well, if you stop and think about it, like you said, the whole Yoda thing, think about it, guys.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah.
so much more to it because they're not like, there's a couple things I'm sure in different shows and movies that don't make sense, like Palpatine. But, for the most part, they're pretty on top of making sure everything's like gonna flow. Like you
Yeah.
said, everyone it can be force sensitive. It's just more if you're gonna use it or not. Because if you're not using it, you're
Yeah.
gonna lose it.
But also too, like, okay, so Um, you have to think about it this way too. Filoni and John, they're filling in the gaps now. Okay,
Yep.
so when the Force Awakened came out, some people loved it. Some people that were older, they hated it. But you didn't get a lot of backstory. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh, the Empire's back. They're the First Order. This is this person. This is this person. This happened. This happened. But okay, how did you get there? And then seeing like, just hearing them be like, oh, Leia broke off and created her own, basically another resistance to the new empire because they weren't doing what they were doing and they dismantled half their fleet. And her being force sensitive, she could sense this, like,
Yeah.
um but so you're filling in those gaps, and now you're going to be like, oh, okay, I can enjoy this more, like, I see
Well,
this and I
just
see
like
that.
2 and 3, when people didn't like it or didn't like Anakin because it just went from him being 19 to him now being 22, and now it's going
Yeah.
to the dark side. And people are just like, what? Like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Nobody likes
Yeah.
Anakin. But then you watch
Yeah.
Clone Wars and you're like, oh, you know,
You can see the
filling in the
manipulate.
gaps.
Yeah, you can see the manipulation that Palpatine did. You
Star
could
Wars
see
is
the
backwards. It always has been. Like, they tell the end of the story and then they catch you up later.
yeah, it's literally a Quentin Tarantino flick, like Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction. you
So it's
know
like, come on, guys. They've done this since day one.
yeah, but at
Oh
the
my
end it
god.
all makes sense.
It does.
So
And it's just like a beautiful like journey. That's what you have to go. You're going through a journey, guys.
yes, you are. You definitely are, man. um but yeah, I liked it. I liked seeing all three of them fight together.
Me
i
too.
liked I liked that he pulled out the part from Hu Yang's ship, and it was Kanan's like counterpart. Somebody online said it's very Harry Potter-ish with the wands with
The
it.
wands.
Yeah, so the feathers in the wand. So I was like, that's pretty cool. I was like, that's cool,
Yeah.
but also just like, man. So then I was thinking about this too. I was like, what if they get stuck there for a while? Like, what if Sabine, and because I'm like, I could totally see Disney doing this, doing like, you're gonna do Heir to the Empire, and the rebellion's basically gonna get crushed, and you're going to have a fallout, and that's how the First Order rise and everything like that. Maybe even them taking over and you know having Thrawn bring the Empire back, but then like Palpatine secretly being cloned and everything like that, and then Palpatine screwing him over at the end, um, and killing him, and then keeping it hush hush, and then so Sabine and Ahsoka are stuck on that planet for a long, long time. And then fast forward, they get back, and it's going to journey into the Rey saga because Rey's supposed to be building a new Jedi Order in her
Yeah.
movies. So, how
Hmm.
fitting.
It would flow for sure. I'm sure they'll do something like that to make it all tie
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
But I just think it's
Maybe,
crazy that now it's like Ezra's back over there and they're just stuck there. So it's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
But it was successful. And I
Yeah.
think if they do play it anyway, I think it'll be like more believable that Ezra Bridger is back as opposed to like Ahsoka and Sabine coming back and be like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, Thrawn's back. It's like, no,
Yeah.
like, look. So,
Like, I've been here the whole entire time with him. So let me
yeah,
tell you what's going on. That
yeah,
did make me cry, though. And she stayed back. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
yeah.
Like, she let Ezra go home and she stayed with Ahsoka. And, oh, they're going to stay with the rock people. The freaking,
go ahead.
I was going to say, the battle between Morgan and Ahsoka was so good. That was like the best fight scene.
That was great choreography, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, I really liked the choreography of the fight scenes this last episode. I thought it
Yes.
was very, I don't know, it flowed better. Rosario Dawson looked a lot looser and not so stiff in
Yeah.
her fighting. She did very well. She did very well. So
Yeah, that was a dope
yeah,
fight scene.
yeah. I
And
was like,
everyone's like, "Oh, it makes sense why." Like when she fought her for with the Beskar staff, And so we're like, "Oh,
yeah,
now that makes sense." Like why she knew how she knew how to fight so good.
yeah,
Like yeah,
yeah. And the fact that they gave her Mother Talzin's sword and brought
right.
that back, I was like, ooh. I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
did too. I was
that's
like,
so
"Oh
sick.
shit!"
I was like,
And then she
hell
died.
yeah. I know. So, and how she was like for Dathomir. I was like, okay, okay.
Right.
Like even if you did die, you're not doing it for the Empire. You're doing it for your people. And I was wondering too, like I don't know much about their culture, but I was like, do you think she'd be able to be like a Force ghost, or I mean, she can obviously be resurrected, but I want to say that in some of the episodes, Mother Talzin's still haunted from the grave. I think so. I'm not sure. I think in Rebels, wasn't it in Rebels? Like her spirit still lingered.
Ooh, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. So, and then my other theme is okay. So Anakin is supposed to fulfill the prophecy, and when they're on the episode of Mortis, they talk about him staying there and taking the father's place. So here's my theme: the brother was still alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After everything, Anakin dies, and he takes the father's role. The brother gets mad and breaks the face off of.
Yeah. I mean, because like you said, he was supposed to take his place, so I don't see why he wouldn't now. Because he fulfilled the prophecy. Yes, he went on his own little dark journey for a little bit, but it got fulfilled, and so now he's gone. So, what else is he gonna be doing? Hmm. Somebody said Shin. They were guessing that she would, but I'm like, I don't see her. I would see Balin more than her. Oh, yeah. I remember you saying that. which would go into those movies. Potentially. Yeah. People have so many different theories. It's kind of wild. But like you said, that's the whole point of it, why they left it the way they did, because then now people are talking about it. They're trying to figure out what they have planned. Like, what is Balin reaching out for? What is that light over there on the mountain? Like, what's going to happen to Shin? Like, he just left her. He's like, bye, see ya. Peace out. Yeah. 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 He's on his own mission. Mm-hmm. I was just about to say that. Say that'd be funny if it was on your face. Ugh. Taking the weight off. Oh yeah. There's a girl, just speaking of legs, she is always doing legs and all that. And today she was asking because she watches TikTok videos, and she's like, "When I'm doing step ups, do I hold the weight on this side, on the non-dominant side?" Because she's like, "Everyone says you have to do it on the opposite side." I said, "Honestly, I hold weights on both sides." But I said, "I don't know. It makes more sense to me to hold it on the side that you're stepping up with." But I don't know. I'm like, whatever. Because she's always complaining that she's never feeling the burn when she does leg workouts. And she's like, everybody talks about this burn. I don't feel it. She's like, she thinks she's doing everything wrong, but I've watched her form. She's not doing anything wrong. And so I was like, you just have to go heavier. And so she has gone a little bit heavier, but I don't think she's going heavy enough. So finally, I was like, do you feel the stretch though? Like, where are you feeling it when you are doing the exercise? So she showed me, and I'm like, we're supposed to be feeling it there. I was like, you're doing it right. You just got to go heavier. I was like, that's it. I was like, you're not going heavy enough. Mm-hmm. Exact same weight. And that progressive overload. Yeah. That's what I was telling her. I was like, you gotta just go heavier. She's like, well, I am. She's like, I'm doing 35 because she's doing step ups on the cable machine. And so she's got her little bench there and she's holding the cable and going up with it. But I'm like, well, if you're not feeling anything with 35, then go up. Go to 40. If you're not feeling anything there, go to 45. I was like, you're going to be struggling, but if you want to feel that burn, because she's like, I've sat there and done like 20 reps, 25 reps in a row, and I just don't feel the burn. I'm like, yeah, you're not going heavy. Like, that's just what it is at this point. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're moving more. Mm-hmm. And you've probably started to eat a little bit more because your metabolism has now kicked in because you started to lose weight. Not so you're not accounting for that extra food that you are now eating. Mhm. And that's what I told the girl too. I told her that. It's like, but you're getting stronger. I said, so that is progress. And she's one of those that she just can't see it. And I did tell her the other day, I was like, your butt has grown since you started working out here. I said, but one, she's very lean already. She's in her 50s, but very lean. You can see like all of her muscles in her arms. You can see her veins and stuff. And so I'm like, if you want a booty, you got to eat some more food. But that's what I told her today. I was like, you're getting stronger, which is good. So that means that you can up your weight and start eating more food. I keep telling her that. And like I said, she's got nice round shoulders. Somebody today too told me they're like, if she wanted to get ready for a show, it's like she's already at that lean part. You just had to tighten her up. I said, it really is true. She hates her arms though because they're so lean. And I was like, your arms look great. But yeah, I'm like, eat more food, girl, and just lift heavier. Don't be scared. You've been in here. I think she's been actually in there about 3.5, 4 months. So she's at that point where it's like nothing's changing. Yep. Yep. Right? But I was telling somebody, actually, I guess he'd technically be my brother-in-law. He's Randall's brother-in-law. But he called me the other day because he's on his little weight loss journey, which he's doing awesome. He's doing everything right because he called me for more advice or a program or something. I'm like, you're doing everything right. The only thing I suggested was to eat more protein, you know. And now I forgot where I was going with this. Yeah, I totally forgot where I was going with that. Just out of my mind. What were we talking about? Cammy eating food, trusting the process. Yeah, I don't know. It totally just went out of my mind. There was a point to that, and I just spaced it. Moving on. Ah, gold. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I have a feeling they're gonna kill her off. I don't know how, but I really just that episode too. I really thought I was like, I started crying because I was like, they're gonna kill Ahsoka. Like that's happening right now. I really thought she was gonna be gone, and I saw too that people were like, what was upset about her fighting with Balin and how she's supposed to be like, this great Jedi and yada yada, and how like she's being bested by him. And I'm just like, you guys, like, she's got other shit to do. Like, she doesn't even care. Like, that second fight, she's just trying to get to where she's trying to get. Like, she doesn't care about him. So she's moving on. Yeah. Yeah. She had other things. She's like, I gotta go do this. I don't care about you, dude. Like, you're gonna get stuck here. She's like, I'm trying to go home with them. Even though she didn't, but. Oh, I forgot that was broken. I liked how they talked about Gideon for like 2 seconds. They're all, oh, Gideon was different. He was, working on his own. He had his own plans. I'm like, okay, we'll see. I was getting a weird vibe about him too, especially that episode. I was like, there's just something off about him. Like, he just doesn't seem right. I don't know. Double agent. Either he just bugs me as a character or there is something, because I'm like, I just don't like him that much. I don't like his character. He's just kind of like, meh. Like, he's just there. I'm like, why? Why is he still just there? Yeah. Yes. Because everyone was upset about not seeing Zeb, but I'm like, I think that's why they put him in Mandalorian for that small little spot because, like, we want to see him obviously, but he's off doing his own thing, so he's not really connected with Hera and them right now. Maybe later down the road. No, I don't remember. Yeah, Oh, maybe, yeah. Like heads up. Mm-hmm. Right. They have their reasons. Yeah, to get there. Well, then somebody was saying too, they're like, maybe, obviously, we all overthink things as we're doing now and dive into things, but they're like, if you notice, it's like the same color as his lightsaber. It's not red, it's not yellow, but it's like that orange tinge. And the guy was just like, maybe I'm just overthinking it, but maybe that's why it's calling the Balin. Like, it's that kind of good and bad over there, you know? I'm like, who knows? I did too. I thought that she was gonna go be like, well, all right, guys, I'm coming on your side. But then she didn't. I did too. Well, that's why she ran. She said, F this, guys. I'm not doing this by myself. I said, see ya. Something like that, yeah. Something like workouts and muscle groups and the body. Is that out? Oh, wait, no. Okay. Yeah, I've seen season one, but season two's coming out soon, huh? Like in the next week or. What? I thought it was the end of October. I don't know. I don't remember. I'll tell you right now, homeboy. What's today? The 6th? I think it's at the end of this month. Oh, wait. Nope, the first episode came out. Yeah, that's season two. Okay, I'm done. I'm down like a clown. Oh, yeah. A Star Wars conversations. 5, that's cool. Told you, she's like your little dealer. So, what do you need? I got you. Just in there scratching. Oh my gosh. All right, you ready? Characters. Number one. Ugh. What is your favorite Ray moment? I want to go first. The moment where the movie ended and she just left. Yeah, I don't really have a favorite. I don't like her. Yeah. I agree, yeah. She had potential, and they just were like, meh, we'll throw her in there. Number 2, creatures. Choose an animal on our planet to model a Star Wars species after. Which animal did you pick, and what would the species look like? Choose an animal on our planet to model a Star Wars species after. I don't understand it. Oh my gosh. I'd say a dog, but they had those dog creatures already on Ahsoka, which were my favorite. True. All right, number 3, the Force. You're 9 years old, like Anakin Skywalker, and a Jedi offers to take you away from home for training. Would you go? Ooh. So, real 9-year-old me, I probably wouldn't, because I was very, that was not going to be me. Like, I was very attached to my family. I was not going to go. Like, I cried going to freaking summer camp because I didn't want to be away from my family. Now, yes, I would go. But yeah, real 9-year-old me wouldn't have. I would have cried. I'd be like, I can't leave my family. Yeah. So. Nope. Yeah, whatever works. Well, I have all the time in the world right now, so you let me know. I'll be free both days. Oh wait, no, Monday. Actually, Monday I have an appointment and it's 2 hours away, so maybe Tuesday. God, I know. It's ridiculous. I know. Randall actually talked about that. Like, when we're rich, can I learn how to fly a plane? I said, please. For sure. All that jazz. For sure. May the force always. Okay, bye. I thought you were going to say it, so. But all right, peace out, Girl Scout.
May the force be with you.